I want to do this real quick on Friday 11, 2018, 1500 hours, 21 minutes. I wanted to say this real quick. I mentioned it on my last video about incantation and trances. This one was given to me in a dream. Hopefully, I get enough dreams and visions about this so I can make a movie out of it. And I deal with things according to my life. Just everyone deal with life according to their life. That's nothing new. That's nothing to be talked on. The epiphany, dream, the vision through the spirit. Keep reaching for my glasses. I took them off. Is what I'm about to say about my race of women, African native descendant women. Why they feel as, and I got it from them, but now I truly understand it and able now for me to get it because I was listening to them and I wanted to learn and accept the woman the way she are, the way she is. And the only way I was going to be able to accept a woman the way she is understanding her so I can speak to her on the mark as we talked about, the level you on, the 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 progress you're on, your comprehension, in the way you understand. And this was given to me. It's going to be real quick. The reason women love a certain type of man in the culture I was grew up in, the environment, the area, the ladies loved the guys that was in the street. It wasn't so much about the money because it is and it was, but more so of his actions. What I mean by actions now, I had to learn this. Though the one lady I dated before I was in a relationship, it was one of my longest relationships. She was Jamaican. She always loved a certain type of man. And the man she loved, which I could never fathom, is the guy that was just on the street. And it wasn't just that. Because then one day, after two babies later, and we got into touch with each other again, I asked her a question, and she said he went higher for me. And I was thinking, what does that mean? I mentioned this before in my last one. Now I want to explain it more thoroughly. Going hard for her, don't matter. I'm going to give her an example from what I was doing with her that I thought this was in my heart that I wanted to do. And I'm at the end, I'm going to give an understanding explanation of how you can be you, or are you willing to accept that and change yourself? So it's almost like a compromise, it's a cast over of yourself. Because remember, positive, you have control over it. Negative, you have no control of the outside. So there's going to be a pro and a con on how you can make a difference, whether you don't have to change or you have to be willing. Just like as you want a willing woman that's available and ready to begin a relationship if you don't want booty calls or none of that stuff. So this guy was going hard. I didn't get it. And I kept watching her. I kept watching her. She would wait for the guy, pick him up from work. Never done a lot of things for me. Even at the time, she didn't have all those things. And I was doing more so for her. But then I had to learn, I thought it was her attractiveness. And it was like, no, it's not that. Because just because she wouldn't spend her time with me and call me every day and talk to me, want to be around me, she wasn't attracted to me. Because she would tell me on plenty of cases, like every day, she loved the way I am neat, I am dressed. And the way he was dressed had nothing to do with it. So it was based on person to person. It was man to man. So even man to man, I had to be willing to understand the reason she found this guy very interesting, because she said it. And in the young mind of women, they say he goes hard for her, and if she's mature, she'll say he made her feel special. And I had to really dig in, just like I'm waiting for the words of the songs I have called "Seduced by the World." I had to dig in and like, what is that? So on her birthday, I made sure I got her things she enjoyed. It didn't cost a lot. Okay, that wasn't really. I can see it in her eyes, and it was in their eyes. That wasn't it. Even when we made love, that wasn't it. Things I would do. She was overly pleasured, but after that ran out, it was back to the same mode. I was like, that's not it. How I treated her, it still wasn't it. Then I had to understand. I had to think about, and this is what I've been pondering on. What is this going hard to her? Her understanding of going hard, I don't know, but from what I was revealed, her understanding of going hard, this man or the men that she thought in her life to go hard for her was making sure she was okay. She felt protected. And I can't say provided because not one of those men did anything, not one provided anything for her. She did all her own groundwork. She had her own foundation and never really gave her money. I never did. She would never accept money from me because she felt like that was prostitution. Because sometimes we would be intimate and then I would like, give her money. And I was like, I'm not giving you money for that. I was already giving you money. I told you that before she went home or before I dropped her off at home or I made sure she got home. That sounds funny. I dropped her off at home. I made sure she got home safe and sound. I watched her go through the door and I walked off or whatever, wherever, however we got to our destination. I made sure she got in her house and the door was locked behind her. And that still wasn't enough. So my understanding of women have this desire that you cannot force your way into. You cannot forcibly put yourself onto that woman, even if she do have admiration for you. Like as I told you, I don't use the word like. I try not to use like as much unless it's deemed more towards the side of it's bad, and I'm letting you know I'm walking into that understanding. But don't matter what I did, don't matter what you do, that woman have to receive you. And from the understanding, she never received me. So now I want to talk about things that you can notice why she's not receiving you. Well, just because you did buy her things for her birthday, you got her this, you got her that. That don't mean she's going to receive you. That don't mean for her that's what she's looking for. Sometimes you might have to take the time out and study some things about her. And in studying, just as if you know you want to be married and have children and become a husband one day, you have to think about things that you normally wouldn't think about. Because when you're single, you don't have to worry and think about a lot of things that normally a lot of people would have to think about. You just do them because you're by yourself. But when you're with someone, you got to think about things that that person may enjoy. So if you rent a movie for the night, you got to make sure that movie, she's going to enjoy that movie. If you're going to even buy a video game, don't just get video games. So this year is NBA 2K19, though 2018. That's how video games work for the women that's watching. That's how video games work. They create the game for the next year because that's the end of the season is going to be in 2019. The beginning of the season was in 2018. So they make the game. Think about games she may enjoy. She may not enjoy the same type of game or the same games you may enjoy. If you have children, try to think about family games. But if this is solely just for if you two single people and you meeting each other, not gonna really get into the child side. What is her desires? What is and I heard a woman say this to me. She said women have a core values in her that they will not, don't matter what type of a man it is, they will not compromise. This is when compromise is in the bad light, the negative light. She won't change. Don't matter if the dude making $1 million and doing all these things compared to a guy that $1 million a week to a guy making $100. She'll take the $100 guy a week based on her core value, things she wants to see from a guy. And it's got to be to her liking. And that's the most baffling thing that about a man would never understand. Because I learned women cannot explain it. What you have to do is be around long enough or ask enough questions to get some type of understanding. So at the end of the day, this is the understanding I receive. Women are going to gravitate to what they want to gravitate to. You cannot change them, don't matter what it's about. And based on her desire and her core values or the core makeup of the things she desires, she's very intrigued by or interested in. Don't matter the type of man. He can be from the most prestige man she's going to be attracted to, or the man that we call the street or hood dude. We used to say street because I hate the terms anyway. But the middleman, Now, this is where I come in and talk to you. You now going to have to learn or just accept who you are and say, I won't compromise because there's values I desire as well. You're going to be the rebellious type. You're going to be the type, and I'm that type that to women you have to be almost immaculate. You got to be great at a lot of things you're doing. But this is not a downfall because in the long run, you will avoid a lot of obstacles and trials that a lot of men will go through because you're not entertaining bad logic. You're not going to entertain what is going to be hard for you to change. I'm not saying don't change or don't have now a good compromise with the women you desire because you got to think if you were born from a good family, a two-person home, good marriage, never seen your parents argue, and you willing to go deal with a woman that's of the same race, but she's born in just a single parent home that been through a lot of trouble and a lot of things in her past that happened to her, you're going to have to accept a lot of things about her that's not going to change right away. So you're going to have to understand that. Even if she's born into a two-parent home and that you might not even be gravid. You might not be interested in a lady as a two-parent home lady as you was, but more likely or more so, you will gravitate towards that because that's what you. So your mind is not distorted. It's not stricken with all of the bad negative works that we constantly program ourselves on the television, the movies, and all the different things we constantly, well, we insistently program our minds to view. So if you think negative, you think it's okay to call yourself a B word. She thinks it's okay. As she called herself the B word, you can't change that. No way, fashion or form, you're going to be able to change her view. So a lot of this is part of her psyche, and I haven't spoke about the psyche of a person. So think about all the things you're doing with the woman you are with, and if you're in a relationship, I'm not a relationship guru. I just want to challenge you. I'm not really trying to guide you or give you advice or counsel. I just want to challenge you on the understanding that you have. Hopefully, this helped a lot of young men. Hopefully, to a y'all of women now, I have done a recording. It's a lie that became a recording called honesty. Maybe the women can start being honest. What I do now is I get directly. I will ask if a woman tell me she don't see me as a partner. I tell a woman, well, I don't see you as a friend. Because if I got to know you for a while and you gave me a leeway to say, present myself, because I'm a man and you're a woman, you're opposite sex, I'm not gay, I'm going to find some attraction. I'm either finding you attractive to be with you or to be around you for a certain purpose. And if a woman don't have that purpose for me, I don't have friendship. I have association. So she need help moving. She need help with this when there's no man around. I am there for her. But if she need me in other different type of ways, I'm not there. And you have to be stern. Just as she's going to be stern in her ways. Don't matter what you do, she's not going to want you. So you don't have to, because women say this, they feel like as they're lowering themselves for you, or they're, what's the word they love to use? They would say, I'm not going down on my standards or my expectations are high or low. You want me to lower my standards? Expectation is no. I want you to grasp an understanding to help me understand you. And if I cannot do that, that's when I walk away. So what I say unto one, I say unto all, it's your choice, it's your path, it's your journey. Choose wisely. You have to make that choice. Now, one thing I want to say is overall, there comes a time of acceptance. I have learned and love to accept myself for who I am. So just as these women they demand it. It's a command. It's their desire. It's their interest. They're intrigued. Their standard. You have to create an esteem for yourself where you, as a young man, yes, I know they don't listen. But this is more so of helping the young brothers, the young men, African descendant, because that's what I mainly focus on. Thank you for coming to the live, Mr. James, or whatever you like to be called. Seems like they call you DJ probably, because I'm OJ. And I know they don't listen, but this is more so for the young men that's growing up to give them an understanding because sometimes on a social platform, you can give a African descendant, a quote unquote, a black woman the truth. They will not listen. They will not listen for to save their life. And to them, it come off as degrading, demeaning, dissing, all the things you can think of. Then they hold you in contempt. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They hold you contempt. So what I do is draw the focus away from that, and hopefully, if a African descent, quote unquote, black woman decide to watch, she won't feel I'm attacking her. I'm not bashing her. She'll learn as well. So I always say to both sides, like as we know both sides is to blame for the reason we don't have a community. We both know that, but they're not going to say that. They're going to blame the man because of the patriarch, the structure, the country, the organizations, the affiliations, the rules, the law. They're not. They're going to think about that, but because women say they mature differently, they're going to put a blame on us. And I'm trying to draw that from the men, so allow the men to focus. And then when I have these other lives and became recordings that I have that focused on the women, and I try my best not to make them feel that way. But as we know, man, truth is truth. They're going to take it for good or for bad. You can be honest, and it's to them that's bad. They won't take that. I remember I dated a woman, more the most recent woman. She's not even the most recent. The one in the last year I dated, and my last birthday, basically, from coming into this year. She said a lot of profound things to me. I took it to heart, but I was never felt I was attacked by a thing she said until she really said things to me as, oh, see, when she got mad at me, and this is what I hated, she started saying things a little differently. And I would ask her, what happened to your loving way? And in her mind it was like, I didn't deserve it. Even with her anger was not at me. Her anger could be at her job, her career, her profession with other people. But she got very stuck in social media as a lot of other young women. So such as the bashing and hate, she's seen it. They can. But okay, I say this. One thing you got to learn how to do is make them take that energy and send it somewhere else. And if you can't, you have to remove yourself away from her. That will stop a lot of the things that happen. So basically, men, like the cliche is, men have to be the bigger man. And in reality, you are. I'm 6'5", and I haven't met. Well, I did. I went to Atlanta. This woman, she was bigger than me. She was like a Brittany Griner. I didn't know she was trying to kick it to me because I actually talked to her because she wasn't ugly. She was just really big, like tall, big. Now I don't mean like out of shape big, and she didn't have a bad body. And I didn't say nothing, and her friends was egging her on to talk to me. Yes, we have to be adults. A lot of women will not do that. And that's the bad thing. And I say that to you, and I'm gonna say this now. A lot of women don't have an adult mind when it comes to certain aspects. They want you to be there or not be there. They won't deal with you. That's why I made this, because we're gonna have to accept a lot of things about women. That's what they want. You can't change it. You try to find it in your heart. Are you able within you? Don't never get away from you. Don't never ever get away from you. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Don't never get away from you. But you have to say to yourself, now what she's wanting and what she's saying to me, will that? Yes, we do. That's why it's very toxic, acidic, or corrosive. Them the words I like to use, I like to as to use. You have to. How old are you? Oh, you 20? Okay. Yes. Oh, you got a long way to go, man. So you got a lot of opportunities. We call it reinventing ourselves, but in this case, you're not trying to reinvent yourself. You are going to see what you are able to accept, what a woman is going to say and do to you. And what I mean by that, I don't mean in some negative way. If you know the woman saying, like I was speaking about, going hard, is you calling her every day, sending her a text. To me, that's not even breaking no energy or no effort you have. You can set that text up for every day. If she love it in the afternoon, you know how you can schedule texts. Send that text out to her. It sounds corny, but it's something she enjoy. And how much energy and effort did that really take? And after a while, if you do it, and trust me on this, she's going to miss it when she's not going to have it. I have women calling me that I've talked to, and we had no alignment. We had nothing for each other. Still say, I miss when you say good morning to me. Because nobody does that. It was corny. She even said it was corny. And it's like, oh, I'm gonna stop doing it. She's like, no, no, no. And that's like a child mind. Because she's gonna say things that she's gonna change in 2 seconds. So you gotta be willing to, like, so are you willing to accept that or not? Now, some things that are bad for you to change. Now, if let's say the top of your remark of as a man, I don't know, as a 20-year-old young man, yes, sir. Yours is respect. Okay. Most recently, I'm 36 years of age. Most recently, I had told myself at the point I am in life, I desire a wife and I want to be a husband and have children. So I made this for myself. I said, I'm no longer paying for first dates. Do not take my advice. This is not advice. This is just an example for me that I'm doing with myself. And I will tell the woman that. And hopefully I have a woman that's at least, I can't say mature, but an adult such as woman. She's adult minded. And ask me the question why. And then I'll give her my reason. And my firm, strong belief and knowing of this, I worked hard for every little penny I make, just like she worked hard. Basically, how we say, it's through our blood, sweat, and tears. And if a woman can't respect that the money that's coming out of my pocket is what I work for, why should she deserve my money? It's no longer about an entitlement, because a lot of women in the society we have, they created, is entitlement now. There's entitlement with women and with men. But we're going to focus on have you think about why you're going to accept it or you're going to think about ways to keep yourself where at. So till you meet, because that's another thing that's important. Until you meet that right woman, she's not going to have no problem with you not paying for the first date. She pay her way, you pay your way. Because the first date, what is a first date? All it is an introduction to you sitting down or being with this lady, having fun. You having fun. And I'm not saying don't pay for the first date. I'm not saying you adopt what I do, but think about things you want to see happen and start at a young age. So I'll always say it's a lifestyle versus I don't know what to call the other side, but you've done this your whole life. Because most people's lives, they have bad behaviors and habits. And if a young man have bad behaviors and habit, how do you get rid of them? So if you never, and I learned this, I don't need to do what my father did, but he's my example already. I don't need to be my own example. Now, I'm not saying in life things do not happen, but if you're living a lifestyle of not having bad habits, patterns, and behavior, man, young man, I'm telling you, it's funny I'm calling you young man. I'll be doing that to my nephew. He's 19, and he just look at me, and I just say, well, nephew or whatever, or call him by his name. I was like, I say, I hope somebody would have told me this a long time ago. Because you know how I know you hear a lot of adults say, I know you probably seen it on social media. If I knew what I knew now, all right, cool. If I know what I know now, So at 20, now I'm 36, I'll be at a better spot. But would you really be? So I think about now, I'm gonna work in my now. So my focus is to focus on the now. I can't worry about my past because that happened. I can't worry about my future. The only thing I can do with my future is prepare for my future. And if you ever watch any of my other videos, I'm gonna sound like a broken record to you, but this is things that I learned. If you do them over and over and over, so like an affirmation is basically information you telling yourself to affirm to yourself to say, one example, I am great. So when somebody come around and say, man, you ain't nothing, you ain't gonna never be nothing, you already affirm to yourself that's not true. You don't need more than all these sources as people do on social media. They're not gonna turn you down which and every way of saying, well, you maybe you not nothing. Maybe you should think about what he said. No, you don't have to. Because you are something. You are somebody. You were created through the creator. I don't know what you believe in or religion, but I try to be universal because the creator is universal. If you call him God, Allah, whatever, he's universal. He's never one-sided. He's never one-minded. So I never try to be a one-sided or one-minded. When I hear a person, even if a person trying to kill me or destroy me, I try to find their view, but at the same time, I tell them, well, you're still trying to hurt me, and I'll have to defend myself. So my affirmations, then my reinforcements, my empowerments is going to be good and positive, and it's always going to back up what I think about me. So my affirmation, I love myself. My reinforcements, I am great. My empowerment, I am strong because I made it through what I thought I couldn't make it through. I don't have to talk about another person. I don't have to bring up another person. And if you notice, I don't have to say one person name to affirm who I am or to put me in a place of I could say power because you have power and control over yourself. Of course, there's authority, but you gotta remember if you're not working under the authority, if you're such as things as depressed, you have anxiety, but don't claim it. To say the doctor say PTSD, you're no longer an authority of yourself because you gave your power away. So try not to give your power away to meaningless things. If you know that's not true, don't worry about it. And I had to learn that too. Whatever don't work for me, it don't work for me. So if your 100% is 75% at the time, that's your 100. You cannot explain it to no one because this is the one thing you may not be able to explain to them. Why are you happy that you got a 78 on the exam and she mad she didn't get 100, she got a 95? Because I did all the work I was supposed to do. I prepared myself because I don't predict the future, and I did my best. I gave my all. So me not winning this time, I want to thank the person, which I don't say enemy because of that word. You think about it, in me. So I say the people that's my opponent, opposition, opposite, or competition, because that's what competition do. They're supposed to strengthen you. So every time someone come against you, it kind of reinforces how strong are you. Then if that bothers you, you got to think back. Okay, that wasn't true. And then you have to ask yourself, why is this bothering you? That's why the vision of understanding of how a woman think, she don't think like a man. And that Steve Harvey book is horrible. Think like a man, whatever it's called. So if you start thinking about all those things, I know it's a lot of information. My thing is I want to help challenge you and guide you, if anything, because I know everybody uses a computer. My nephew uses a computer. I send him messages, and that's more how he listens to me, and I try to make it short and sweet. I try not to keep it a long time and keep, you know how people just talk and talk and talk. So Mr. James, or whatever I'm gonna say, I know your name, you DJ. Do you have any questions, or is anything you will want me to discuss with you real quick, or you want to go over any challenges, anything that I said that's profound to you? So as I wait till your comment to come up, Mr. DJ, if he don't comment at me in the next minute or two, I would say, as I ask you, Mr. DJ or Mr. Jen. Okay. Okay, cool. And remember, you a sir too. I try to tell the young men you are a sir because I'll go in a restaurant or store and the cashier or the person that's the waiter. I let them know he is sir. You are strong. You are mighty. And this too. And I want to end it with this. And thanks for listening and everything. Hopefully I helped you in some way. Get your mind working. Because I ain't trying to tell you what to do. You're gonna live your life. And hopefully it's a man in your life. If not, sometimes you might have to latch yourself on to a person you really thank you. Appreciate it. And I respect you too. And I appreciate you for listening. And sometimes you might have to latch on to a man that you if you hear great words from a man, remember he's a man just as anyone else. So he gonna have some weird little flaws or some faults he's gonna do that's gonna be very unbecoming of him. But don't hold that account of him. But if that's his, as I said before, his lifestyle, try to kind of back up a little bit and try not to use everything he do as you grow and your mind still gather and you gain more knowledge and understanding, even to what I'm saying. Take my information and think about it, but don't think too much. Remember, enjoy life, have fun, like care about yourself more than others, but make sure you still can help others. Different things, like just challenge yourself with everything you do. If you got an 85 on that last test you took, if you in college or you working and you know you can be better, try to be better the next day. And then try to keep upping the ante every time. Because I look at jobs as just for the time being. Job, just, I don't, somebody told me this before, but the O, I don't remember. But I know for me, it's just for the time being. So the J and the B, just for being or just for time being. I don't know what the O, I forgot what she said for the O. So wherever you at, you're going to always be better and do better. Strive for better, be your best. Can't be nobody your best. Oh yeah, and to get back to this real quick, for competition helps you. Why would you want to keep playing the person? Now, it's not a diss to that person because what's happening for that person, that's why you always see this like an example, Golden State versus basically we'd just say LeBron. Golden State is better than LeBron. The team is better than LeBron. But as a person, each member have their position. Just like each member now in the Lakers going to have their position once they meet up. Or whatever team is the Lakers' opponent, even tonight, tomorrow, you have to go in there. You know LeBron's the best player in the league. But that can't be your mentality. Your mentality is, okay, I played against my opponent so many times. I watched the tape. I practiced. I know I needed one more move, so I worked on another move. So each year, each game, each day, each hour, each minute, you worked out more. You lifted more weights. Whatever, you dribbled the ball more. You shot more basket. You train, you practice more and more and more. So what you're doing, just because you're not winning per se, you're winning to you. Because you know you're doing all your best. And don't worry about winning right away. If you win right away, great. But remember, there's someone out there that's just as good as you. Them the people you want to go against. And if somebody not as good as you and you keep beating them, encourage that person. You could talk smack, but encourage that person. I was at where you was at. I couldn't beat this person. Now I finally can beat. When they finally beat you, I was like, man, I give them props. Even if it's at a video game, but especially if it's really reality, real life, and you outside on a basketball field, the basketball court, or you in the field, play hockey, whatever, and they finally beat you, I'll give them their props. But that shows me that they got better. And then once that shows me, just like Kyrie father, I was watching a thing on YouTube, told him, once you beat me, you can beat anybody. Now look at Kyrie Irving. He made it to the NBA. So that's just my word of thoughts for the day. Mainly the topic today was about how you're accepting who you are And there's some things you can't change. Some things about women you will not change. I don't care what ethnicity or nationality she is. She's going to have that about her. So what you're going to do, you're either going to accept her way and try to figure out if you really want to be with her. Once you make that decision, you want to be in a monogamous, committed relationship with this woman, and she understands that. Make sure you communicate this. Don't say, some people just say, you my girlfriend, you my boyfriend, or you with me or you're not with me. Make sure you say those words. If you don't say those words, that let her know it's clear. That's not what it is. So always be upfront and truthful with the women and the lady you are with. So with that being said, make sure you are able to accept a lot of things about how she thinks and the way she is, and you accept you. So when it finally all comes together, that it's going to work out, or you might just become friends, or you never know. So it can go either way. So you have a good day, sir, and I appreciate you for watching. Comment in the comment section. Tell your friends to check out some other videos that I have. They may not all be so interesting, or I might be not so interesting. Just check them out. All right, you too, and I appreciate you. And you have a great day. Enjoy your dinner. And shalom to you, young man, and everybody else that watch. Have a great day.